So the living situations are you and your companion in an apartment. They have all over, they have what the missionaries will call domes, which are basically just giant cement apartment complex buildings. And they're scattered everywhere. The more central you get to the city, the more European it is, the more charming it is. The further out you get in the city, it'll be more Soviet-like with those giant block housing, and that's what you live in. There was an apartment that I lived in Liepāja, which is more Latvian, a little more European, we lived right above the tirgus, the market. And it was in the center of town, so it was super cute. But other than that, I lived in domes, and it'll just be the two of you. There was only one time I remember that elders had to double up, but it was only temporary, so you won't really be doubling up with other sister missionaries. And the schedule is very much what you read in the White Handbook. You get up at 6:30, exercise, eat, shower, and I was in a tripanionship for a few transfers of my mission, which could make the situation difficult for getting ready, but you figured out a system. Then you you do your personal study, companionship study, and then you'll do language study. If you are a trainee or if you're training, there will then be an extra hour of study. So you could be studying anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. And then you go out and either you're teaching people appointments that you've set up, hopefully that's what you're doing, or you're contacting. A lot of my mission was knocking on doors and contacting on the streets, but then there were also spurts that were pretty busy where I was teaching every day. You have 2 hours in the day for you to eat, and again, you're making your food, so you have to it's important to plan that. It was important for us to plan it at the beginning of the week so we knew before we got to lunch what we were making. But that was a typical day. In the winter, we did a lot more knocking, and it's the most important thing is to follow the Spirit with whatever type of contacting you want to do or where you want to go in your area. But a lot of times in the winter, we would go into the dome and we would start at the very top of it, go up the stairs, start at the top, say a prayer, and then knock our way down, and then go to the next stairwell and do the same thing. Hopefully you'll get invited in, which is pretty safe. And the strange thing is, a lot of times when you're a missionary, if you step out of your missionary self and you think, I could never do this in America, like this seems like it would be unsafe, I felt very safe, and I think part of that has to do with the fact that you're a missionary and you do feel protection. And then the other side is that it's pretty safe in Latvia. When like a child goes missing, you hear about it all the time, or you hear there's this guy there's this thief. They're appalled by the amount of crime that they hear happens in America. And of course, that also has to do with the fact that we're a huge country. We're so much bigger than theirs. But in general, it's a lot safer over there than it is actually in the United States. Of course, there are kind of dodgy areas too that you might want to avoid at night. But really, all of our areas were fairly safe. There was only one area in Liepāja that was a little bit sketchy, but we still visited it during the day. So safety-wise, you'll be okay.